You see the Met Gala?
Yes.
All the servants are wearing masks and all the elites aren't.
Yep.
The funniest thing possible. So a lot of people are ragging on AOC because she had this dress saying tax the rich at a $30,000 event. But I'll tell you what, the funniest thing I saw was the video of her leaving the event where everyone's cheering and screaming and she's waving as a staff member is carrying her dress from behind for her while wearing a mask. And I'm like, nothing says cyber nightmare dystopia like the leftist wearing a fancy tax the rich dress at a $35,000 per ticket event as everyone celebrates and cheers for her and her masked servant carries her dress for her on the way out. Amazing.
The thing is, dude, this has been happening all the way. Remember Gavin Newsom and his French Laundry dinner? You had Barack Obama's birthday party recently. You've had these governors and mayors going on vacations and holidays. In the UK, there have been the scandals there too. And here's the problem, man. Pointing out hypocrisy is only effective on people who actually have principles.
Or scruples.
Right?
True.
So if I do something that's deeply hypocritical and someone points it out, I have to check myself, right? Because I have principles. I'm like, oh, you're right. You know, like I'm not practicing what I preach here, right? Like I did something wrong. But there's no greater flex of power and authoritarianism than open hypocrisy. And we know this, right? Yep. Last year, I went to Romania for a couple months. And I was in Bucharest, where you have a lot of people don't know, the second biggest building in the world after the Pentagon is the presidential palace in Bucharest.
Wow.
Yes, built by Nicolae Ceausescu.
Wow.
Their last communist dictator. So the building, I believe, was finished in 91. I think he was killed in 89, so he never lived to see the completion. This if you go inside this, the opulence, the decadence, keep in mind this is all built during the communist era, and you've got all the communist buildings around. He displaced over 20,000 citizens to build this building. So he demolished the homes of 20,000 people to create this monstrosity in the center of Bucharest, which he never even lived to see. But there's gold on the ceilings. There's over 1,000 rooms. There's 6 floors. When you see the building, keep in mind there's another 6 floors underground.
Ooh. Wow.
Right? The building is so heavy that it drops a couple centimeters.
What's it called?
Every year. The Presidential Palace in Bucharest. Look up this place. It's gigantic. I believe it's the second biggest building after the Pentagon in terms of overall floor space. This thing is It's insane.
What do they have? What does it do now? What do they use it for?
They use it a little bit for media. They do use it for some government activities. You can take tours of it, but a lot of it, I think, is just it's gigantic. Over 1,000 rooms. I mean, the size of this place is unreal. You walk in one room and it's like a football field.
I just watched the video of Ceausescu getting executed 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. He and his wife, and I mean, they were like up into the moment up against the wall, and the woman was like still like, "You're the problem. You're wrong," and they're wearing their nice clothes.
Yeah, it was on Christmas Day, I think, 1989. It was
televised. Yeah.
Jeez. And I mean, look, we know this. You know that under communism, the rulers are the rulers do okay. The rulers are very wealthy. And they're living in luxury, and yet everyone else is starving and living in squalor.
So you think Ceausescu was like a prime example of a hypocrite?
Obviously. I mean, I think, as far as I'm aware, all the communist leaders were, right? I mean, they were living lives of luxury and telling everyone else that, they all need to be equal and have their rations and live in squalor and live in famine.
But they were convincing themselves that they needed the things that they were getting.
Yeah, I mean, so it's the same mentality, right? The same has happened. I mean, moving away from communism, just look at dictatorships, right? When you've had dictatorships, whether in parts of Africa or in the Middle East or in South America, the people at the top are balling. They're 100 million billionaires. Yep. And meanwhile, people are just living in absolute squalor. You got something to say?
4 million square feet this building.
Holy cow.
How many?
In Romania.
3,930,000 square feet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How many floors was it again?
It's
You
like
said
a
6
city.
underground?
I want to say it's about 12 floors, maybe.
Yeah, it's
something
footprint.
Like that.
It's a massive footprint.
It's huge. It takes an hour to walk around it takes an hour to walk around not just the like the perimeter.
I think that's bigger than my
White House.
college campus. It's about the same size.
Huge.
It's
Kent State University.
It's huge.
Its volume is 2.5 million cubic meters.
Holy cow.
It weighs 4 billion kilograms.
What?
Glad they have these
9
analytics.
billion pounds. 4.10 million tons. We often think about the biggest building vertically.
Yeah.
No, but this is
It's huge.
Girthy.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
It's huge. If you ever go to Bucharest, like
have
it's,
to
I'm
see
going
that.
for sure.
Yeah, I
it's,
gotta go.
it's worth checking this place out. And there's even tunnels. There's tunnels that go from there to. Apparently, the tunnels underneath are so big you can drive a tank through them.
So they say it's the palace is worth 4 billion euro, making it the most expensive administrative building in the world. The cost of heating, electricity, and lighting alone exceeds $6 million per year, comparable to the total cost of powering a medium-sized city. Amazing.
Wow. One building.
So to your point, getting to openly flaunt the rules. That's what this is all about.
That's a power flex. I mean, what's a greater flex of power than open hypocrisy, right?
Yeah.
Telling people one thing
Yeah.
and you're openly doing another.